Often passing the guard in jiu-jitsu can be very difficult if you have a flexible opponent. So using diving back takes can really change the game because a lot of people are so focused on defending the pass, the angle that you come in when you dive for the back can make it much more difficult for your opponent to defend. I've included a lot of competition clips from Espen Mathisen and Leon Larman because they use this a lot in competition. Be sure to check them out on Instagram if you want to see more content on these techniques. As always, guys, if you like the content, be sure to like and subscribe to help support the channel. So to learn these diving back takes, we're going to start off with learning the basic back take mechanic, and then we're going to learn to do it from top. So the first mechanic we're going to use is a bolo mechanic, and in my opinion, this is one of the simplest, easiest ones to use. So I'm going to tilt my opponent's knee inward. We're going to grab the hip, and the key here is I want to get my shin over my opponent's knee line. This is like the Mikey and Nick Sal's and Daniel Maia way of doing the bolo. So I'm going to get my shin over their thigh. I grab the hip here. I'm going to tuck and invert my head all the way through, and when I come through here, he's going to stay up on his hands for now. I want my right foot to stay along his ribs, and my shin, you can come around this way, my shin is going to stay connected really tight on his hip here. This creates kind of a painful lock on his thigh. My left heel clamps to my butt, stay up in your hands a little bit, and as I drop this left foot down, it's actually going to lift his hip up really easy, flip him over, and now it's really easy to switch up and take the back. So the first sequence we're going to look at from the top is I'm passing the Delahiva guard. I trap this leg. I'm going to control my opponent's pants, and I control this cross collar. Usually people here are expecting you to go for a knee cut pass. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot my knee over, and I catch this same mechanic we used for the bolo before, where I chop my shin into his thigh, and I'm going to dive over and land on my right shoulder here. As I hit, I land in that exact same position. I hammer my left foot to the floor. I create that lift, and I take the back. So one more time at full speed, we get the collar, we go here, we dive, catch, and take the back. So the next sequence is from single leg X. So now I'm going to push my opponent's foot off, and I can either go straight for the hip, or if I sit low, I can go to the collar, but it's the same idea. I'm going to shoot my shin, I hop my knee over and get over this thigh line here. I'm going to grab the hip, and I dive over my shoulder. Again, I get that same landing mechanic, left heel down, right shin clicking hard, pull him over, and take the back. So this time doing it with the collar grip, I push the heel off, I sit low, this way he can't put the foot back on my hip. I grab the collar, and now when I'm ready, I dive over the shoulder, hit, clip, and take the back. So the next mechanic to understand is the basic crab ride mechanic. So go ahead and stand up. So the crab ride basically is built off the idea, if he turns around here, is like a basic back take where you come around and you have both butterfly hooks. We grab the belt or the pants, I pull him down, and I take the back. We're just going to be doing it while we're inverted. So he's on his back here, and in this situation, I get the same exact hooks in, just like that position. I have both grips on the hip. This will come about in a lot of different ways. So we're going to be here, and now the thing is, if I threw this leg over to try to take the back, he can just scoot out to half guard, right? Go back. But if I have him sitting on my hip, go around the other side. If I have him sitting on my thigh when I do this, here, you see how he's on my thigh? When I throw this over, I can actually sit him up and take the back. So normally when you do a crab ride, what happens is the bottom side thigh is not there. So when I go over with this right leg, I'm now putting it in my lap on the top side. So as I invert through, he ends up on my lap on the other side. I throw this foot over, and I can sit him up and take the back. So now we're going to look at setting that up from the top. So the first setup we're going to use here is from a stack pass. Often you're passing, your opponent has his legs high, so we're just going to pin his feet over his head in a stack. From here I can try to pass, but instead I'm going to drop my shin on his thigh here, switch my left hand across, and grab the hip. From here I'm going to take my left foot and I switch it in here, and now this knee's going to drop past his hip so that when I land, he's already on that bottom side of the crab ride. You need to go to the other side. So now as I go here, I drop, and I go here, I can pull him up over the lap. I hit here, sit him up, and take the back. So one more time, full speed. I pin the feet over the head to go for the stack. I drop my right shin, switch the hand, throw the left foot in, drop, and take the back. So the next one's really useful versus a flexible guard. So sometimes my opponent's side tilted into the way I'm passing. So as I circle, he'll kind of follow and invert up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot my cross knee instead of the same side knee to his shin here, or to his calf here, and now I'm going to grab the hip, and my left shin, you need to go around that way, my left shin is going to shoot over here. So I land in this position here, and see he's already landing on the lap like before, and now as I land, I can throw the heel over, sit him up, and take the back. So one more time, full speed. I start to circle around to pass, he starts to invert, I come around, I use the cross knee to pin his calf, I catch the hip, dive, and take the back. Hope you guys like the content. Also, if you guys haven't checked out my website, be sure to check that out. I'll put the link in the description. I have a lot more organized content and systems on there as well. Thanks a lot.